What would you do if you knew that a simple act of kindness could change your life forever? Amelia Santos, just 14 years old, had no idea that the choice she was about to make on an ordinary Saturday afternoon would one day shake her entire world. If you want to see how a single decision can transform destiny, subscribe now, because this is not just a story. It's a life lesson that could inspire your own path. Amelia clutched a wrinkled $5 bill in her hand. It was all she had managed to save over 3 long weeks of washing cars under the scorching sun at the traffic lights. Her empty stomach reminded her of the skipped breakfasts and missed dinners. But today, she was determined to finally buy herself a sandwich, and maybe still have enough left for the bus home. The downtown square was alive that afternoon. Couples posed for selfies, children laughed around the fountain, and street vendors barked out their prices. Amelia was just steps away from the food trailer when she heard it. Soft sobs carried by the breeze. "Mommy! Mommy!" Turning her head, she spotted a small blonde girl in a pink dress far too expensive for this place. She sat under a tree, her cheeks wet with tears, her cries sharp against the noise of the square. 4 years old, maybe. Completely lost. Strangers glanced at the child but kept walking, unwilling to stop. Amelia couldn't. Her grandmother had always told her, "Those who have little and share have much." "Hi, little one," Amelia whispered gently as she crouched. "What's your name?" "Katie," the child hiccuped. "I can't find my mommy. She was buying me ice cream, and then I saw a puppy." Katie's panic hit Amelia like a punch. The square was massive. Her mother could be anywhere. Amelia took the girl's trembling hand and guided her through the crowd. They searched in every direction. Minutes ticked by. Hunger clawed at Amelia's insides, but the lost child's needs mattered more. Finally, Katie whispered, "I'm hungry." Amelia froze, staring at the $5 still in her hand. Her sandwich, her only meal. And yet, when she looked into Katie's tearful eyes, there was no decision left to make. "Let's get you something to eat," she said softly, guiding the girl to the trailer. As Katie devoured the sandwich meant for her, Amelia didn't notice the 2 men in suits across the square, watching her every move. 15 minutes later, a woman's desperate voice cut through the noise. "Katie! Katie!" An elegant woman in high heels and designer clothes ran toward them, tears streaming down her face. Katie leapt into her mother's arms. Relief radiated between them. The woman turned to Amelia, clutching her hands. "Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you. I'm Jennifer Wellington." The name struck Amelia like lightning. The Wellingtons owned the largest chain of hospitals in the region. Their name was on billboards, skyscrapers, and television ads. Jennifer studied Amelia carefully. "Not everyone would have done what you did. Especially not giving up your own meal for my child." Amelia's breath caught. How did she know about the sandwich? Before she could answer, one of the suited men approached. "Mrs. Wellington, the car is ready." Jennifer reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. She scribbled something on the back and handed it to Amelia. "Keep this. Call me Monday." On the back were 3 words. Scholarship. Character test passed. That night, Amelia told her grandmother everything. The old woman listened silently, stirring a pot of rice and beans. Finally, she placed a weathered hand on her granddaughter's cheek. Sometimes angels disguise themselves as strangers, testing our hearts. You passed, Amelia. And maybe you are about to be rewarded. But neither of them could have guessed just how far that reward would go. On Monday, Amelia nervously walked into the Wellington Medical Foundation's glass tower. She had never seen such luxury. Marble floors, crystal lights, photos of Jennifer with world leaders. Jennifer introduced Amelia to a panel. Dr. Richard Hayes, Professor Carmen Rodriguez, and to her shock, Dr. Michael Torres, the very doctor who had once treated her dying father. They praised Amelia's perfect grades, her persistence, and her compassion. But Jennifer's voice cut through the praise. "The test in the square was only the beginning. We want you to complete a 1-month internship in 3 places: a public hospital, a rural clinic, and a drug rehabilitation center. Amelia's eyes widened. But I have school. I work to help my grandmother. Jennifer slid an envelope toward her. Inside was $2,000. Your family's expenses will be covered. What we want to see is whether your compassion holds under pressure. And so, Amelia began the most brutal month of her young life. School from 7 to 3. Internships from 4 to 8. Homework past midnight. At the rehab center, patients laughed at her youth until she silenced them with a quiet truth. My father died of an overdose when I was 11. My mother died of cancer 2 years later because we couldn't afford treatment. So yes, I know suffering. At the hospital, during an emergency when no doctors were available, Amelia stepped up. She stabilized a child, guided a nurse, and held life together until Dr. Torres arrived. Later he called Jennifer. She didn't just pass. She exceeded every expectation. She has instincts I've never seen in a student, let alone a 14-year-old. 1 month later, Amelia sat before the same panel. But this time, the room was filled with even more powerful figures. Directors, professors from Harvard and Stanford, leaders of global hospitals. Jennifer placed documents before her. You have completed every test with extraordinary strength. So we are offering you more than a scholarship. We are offering you a future. It wasn't just tuition. It was mentorship at the world's best hospitals, a guaranteed position, a new clinic to be built in her community, funded entirely by the Wellington Foundation. The Amelia Santos Clinic, Jennifer announced. Amelia's voice shook. You want to name a clinic after me? No, Dr. Torres corrected gently. We want you to lead it. Tears burned Amelia's eyes as she signed the papers. Her grandmother's words echoed. Sometimes angels disguise themselves as strangers. 3 years later, a black helicopter thundered into her neighborhood. Jennifer stepped out, holding a gold briefcase. Inside were the keys to the brand new Amelia Santos Clinic, named after the grandmother who raised her. A full scholarship to Harvard. Funding for her family's future. Why all this? Amelia asked, stunned. Because kindness multiplied by opportunity can change the world, Jennifer replied. Today, Dr. Amelia Santos runs 3 free clinics, serving thousands. Derek, the former addict who once mocked her, now works as a counselor in her center. And in the square where she once gave up her sandwich, a plaque now reads, Small acts, big transformations. The true miracle wasn't in the millions invested. It was in a hungry girl's decision to feed a stranger. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to our channel to discover more stories proving that kindness is never weakness. It is the most powerful force on earth.